Hello, hi, namaste. How are you all doing? Everything well and good? Yeah, we can start today's class. We have already started Vakatakas dynasty from our last class. This is our day 2 continuing Vakatakas dynasty. So yesterday what we have seen, guys, what are the resources we have found, and we have talked about one king of the dynasty who is the founder of this dynasty. Today we are going to look into the other kings from the dynasty. From whatever inscriptions we have gathered, we got few names of the kings. So those kings we are going to discuss who ruled Telangana region. Okay, so the first king which we are going to see after Vindhya Shakti, who is the founder of Vakatakas, is his son. What is his son's name? It is Pravarasena I. Guys, Pravarasena I, he is one of the greatest kings of Vakatakas, because you see the duration he has ruled for almost around 270 to 330 AD, almost 60 years. Okay, so that duration gives importance to a king. So at the same time, when we are looking into the hierarchy yesterday, we have seen that he had titles also. Okay, so those titles are also important. This is the slide which we talked yesterday. This has what, guys? This has the complete hierarchy of the which branch, Surika branch or the Nandivardhana branch. So it starts from Rudrasena. What? Nandivardhana or Surika branch starts from Rudrasena. Today we are looking into what? Pravarasena. His titles are Pravar Samrat and Dharma Maharaj. See, guys, this Pravarasena, he ruled for almost 65 years. It means that he must have had a good amount of kingdom in his hands. Like, he also has titles. What it is? Pravar Samrat and Dharma Maharaj. So with the titles, definitely it means that good amount of kingdom was in his hands. For Vindhya Shakti, you see, there is no title. అసలు టైటిలే లేదు. ఆ టైటిల్ లేని మనిషికి కింగ్డమ్ ఎలా ఉంటుంది? అతని కింగ్డమ్ చాలా తక్కువ అయి ఉండొచ్చు, లేదా శాతవాహనాల కింద రిపోర్టింగ్ చేసేటట్టు ఉండొచ్చు ఇల్లు. అయితే ఈ ప్రవర్సేన టైంలో కింగ్డమ్ అనేది బాగా ఎక్స్పాండ్ అయ్యింది. ఎంత బాగా ఎక్స్పాండ్ అయ్యిందంటే నార్త్ సైడ్ బుందేల్ఖండ్ అయిపోయింది, ఇంకా సౌత్ సైడ్ శ్రీశైలం. yesterday we have seen the dynasty, right? So you see, north side it was Bundelkhand, south side it was Srisailam. So this big the dynasty extended. ఇంత పెద్ద ఎక్స్టెండ్ చేసిందంటే యాగాలు చేయకుండా ఎలా ఉంటాడు? He did so many yagas. There are innumerous yagas that he has done. Let's look at it one after the other. The first yaga which he has done is Ashwamedha Yaga. Guys, if you guys have time, just listen to the story which I am going to tell. Otherwise, you just keep on skipping until the main concept is there. But we need to understand what Ashwamedha Yagna is. Okay, what happens in this Yagna is, normally a king, when he decides to do Ashwamedha Yagna, it means that he feels that he is powerful enough and he can rule across few kingdoms. He can have few kingdoms under his control. That would be the intention of the king. What do they do in this yagna is, first thing, yaga means what? They have to perform some yagna. Yagna, it will have fire. You have to offer prayers to the god and you have to sacrifice animal. But Ashwamedha Yagna, it is giving importance because one Ashwa meaning horse. One horse is included while doing the Ashwamedha Yagna. Ashwa is giving a huge importance during the time of war. So in wars, horses are first priority because it carries the warrior, right? So horses are giving utmost respect. They are given utmost respect. So this one Ashwa, they name it in the Ashwamedha Yagna. They do lot of prayers to that Ashwa also. After performing the Yagna and after killing one of the animals, the king leaves the horse. Now, once they leave the horse can move any place, right? So along with this horse, there will be soldiers accompanied with the horse. So wherever this horse goes, that land will be under the control of the king. The king whosoever is ruling the other kingdoms, if they retaliate, then they will declare war. So there are two options for the king. First is accept the ruling under the superior king. Second, perform a war or declare a war. That's why many kings, they are scared to do or perform Ashwamedha Yagna. Who knows, if Ashwa goes in the powerful kingdom, then they have to fight against that powerful kingdom, right? So that is a threat which always it will be there. Now I'll explain it in Telugu. What happens here is, ఒక రాజు యాగ పర్ఫామ్ చేస్తాడు, యజ్ఞం చేస్తాడు, దానికి ఆహుతి ఇస్తాడు, ఇంకా ఒక యానిమల్ని చంపేస్తాడు, దాంతోపాటు ఒక హార్స్ని వదిలేస్తాడు. ఆ హార్స్ ఏ రాజ్యంలో అయితే పోతే ఆ రాజ్యం ఈ కింగ్ కిందికి వచ్చేసినట్టు. ఒకవేళ వేరే వాళ్ళ కింగ్డమ్ రాజు లేదు మేము ఒప్పుకోము, నేను ఏంది నీ కింద పనిచేయడం ఏంది అనేసి అనుకుంటే వాళ్ళు యుద్ధానికి రెడీ అయిపోవాలి. ఇంకా దే విల్ డిక్లేర్ ద వార్. లేదంటే లేదు పర్లేదు ఆయన కింద రిపోర్ట్ చేస్తాము, మేము ఈ వార్స్ అదంతా ఎందుకు, యుద్ధాలు ఎందుకు, మనకి మంచిగా కలిసిమెలిసి ఉందాము, ఆ రాజు కింద అతనే పెద్దోడు అనేసి అనుకుంటే వాళ్ళు యుద్ధం చేయరు. సో దెర్ ఆర్ ఓన్లీ టూ పాసిబుల్ వేస్. వన్ ఈజ్ ఈదర్ డిక్లేర్ వార్, సెకండ్ థింగ్ ఈజ్ యూ అగ్రీ ద సుపీరియారిటీ ఆఫ్ దట్ కింగ్. This is nothing but Ashwamedha Yagna. Okay, so like that he has done 4 Ashwamedha Yagna, not 1, not 2. It is 4 Ashwamedha Yagna. You are imagining how brave Pravarsena could have been. So that's the greatness of Pravarsena. He has done so many yagas. You see, next is Vajapaya Yaga he has done. Now what is Vajapaya Yaga? I told you, while doing the yajnam they will offer the juice of soma. Soma juice is nothing but guys, it is మందు అంటాం కదా, అప్పట్లో అది ఫేమస్. అది ఇచ్చి ఇంకా ఒక యానిమల్ సాక్రిఫైస్ అయ్యేది. సో దాట్ ఈస్ ద ఇంపార్టెన్స్ ఆఫ్ వాజపేయ యాగా. నెక్స్ట్ అగ్నిహోత్సమ ఆల్సో హీ హాస్ డన్. అగ్నిహోత్సమ, అగ్ని మీనింగ్ ఫైర్, soma meaning praise. Okay, so the praise of Agni, this is the yaga he performed. And like this we have few other yagas like Astoyanu, Utvi, Shodasi, Brihaspati Sava and Sadhyaskara Yaga. Guys, Shodasi meaning, see, this yaga is performed because the king thinks that okay, I want to be happy. When a king feels that if he wants to be happy or in order to attain extreme happiness, this Shodasi is performed. Because you know, at that time Hariti was very famous. He told that his mother's name is Hariti. So Hariti, she told that if you are performing Shodasi, this is also one type of Soma Yaga. If you are performing Shodasi, it will give you extreme happiness. Yeah, for that purpose this yaga is performed. Then Brihaspati Sava. Now talking about Brihaspati Sava. Now Brihaspati is the guru of gods. Like Shukra is the guru for asuras, like that Brihaspati is the guru of gods. And Sava meaning you offer something from your side. That is, a king when he is doing Brihaspati Sava, he is offering his services to Brihaspati. Brihaspati is nothing but he is the guru of gods. Now when you are doing Brihaspati Sava, it means that you are expecting something in return. Like you are offering something to the god and you are saying that okay, for myself you do this since I am doing this for you. So that is, you are investing something and you are expecting in return for your investment. So this is nothing but Brihaspati Sava. This was performed by Pravarsena. He also performed Sadhyakshara Yaga. Guys, if you have time only, then get into this explanation thing. Otherwise you can just always move forward and get forward to the video. But the intention is, if you understand these words, right, you'll connect more to the dynasties or the kings. You will relate to them, and then in the examination you'll easily be able to answer. This Pravarasena has performed so many yagas. That's why only he is considered to be great, right? Otherwise, how come we would have known about this dynasty? How would have there been two branches of this dynasty, right? So that's the reason I am telling each and everything. See guys, now he ruled for 65 years. He has huge territory, north side Bundelkhand, south side Srisailam. Now, how could he establish such strong relations? I told you, na? Very easy. Marriage, perform marriage, political matters. This is the only thing happened in history. So what Pravarasena did? He got one of his sons married to Naga dynasty. Now don't ask me which son. We already know only two sons, and two sons, so we don't know about it. Whichever information we know from the sources, only then from that we are making an estimation. Okay, this could have done at that time. So he got one of his sons marriage to the person in the Naga dynasty. Now where is Naga dynasty if you ask me? Remember yesterday I told you to remember one dynasty we'll be talking about. So somewhere this region would be Naga dynasty, guys. So this is a part of North India. Okay, here I'll erase this Vakatakas, you know, right? This is Vakatakas, and here there is Nagaland. So north side they maintain good relations. Now south side also they have complete authority. This is how Pravarasena he expanded his kingdom. He got one of his sons married to Naga dynasty people, and he maintained good relations with them. Guys, if you want me to show where Naga dynasty is, I'll quickly show you. So this area, you see the highlighted area, right? So this is nothing but this is Naga dynasty. So it is northern part of India, and Vakatakas were ruling this part. Yeah, and you see in parallel Ikshvakus was here, Kalinga, Orissa, you know. Okay, so this was the Naga dynasty. After this, what it is, from the hierarchy itself we got to know so many things, guys. So that's the reason this hierarchy is very, very important. We got to know that his title was Pravara Samrat Dharma Maharaj. Okay, and then he had his eldest son name as Gautami Putra Shatakarni, because he respected Shatavahanas, right? That time Gautami Putra Shatakarni, probably he must have given employment to these people. That's why after his name he named his eldest daughter as Gautami Putra Shatakarni. But unfortunately he must have died, and then Sarvasena he took place. So from Sarvasena it was called as Vatsalgulma branch, because the capital was named as Vatsalgulma in Maharashtra, and from Rudrasena it was called as Studika branch or the Nandivardhana branch. Let's recap. For Vatsalgulma or the Sarvasena, what are the regions that he ruled? He ruled Maharashtra. What about Rudrasena? What all regions did he rule? It was Vidarbha, Vidush and Telangana. These were under Rudrasena. What was the branch, guys? It was Rudika, and Sarvasena it is Vatsalgulma. The capital for Sarvasena is Vatsalgulma, and the capital for Rudrasena is Vidishanagaram, because Vidisha was under the rule of Rudrasena. Okay, and what about Samudragupta? He is the contemporary of Rudrasena. Now the next king which we are going to look into would be Rudrasena, because Gautam Putra Shatakarni died and Sarvasena he took part of Maharashtra. So now who it is? After Pravarasena it is Rudrasena. There is nothing much about Rudrasena, guys, because he already lost to Samudragupta, correct? In the war between Samudragupta and Rudrasena, he lost it. So Samudragupta, he has written his greatness in the Allahabad inscription. In Allahabad inscription, there is nothing but his greatness. He got Abhiraz defeated, he got Vakatakas Rudrasena defeated. So this is what written in Allahabad Samudragupta inscription. Actually Allahabad inscription is whose, guys? It is Ashoka's, right? So in that Ashoka's inscription pillar only he has written his inscription also. Only one thing that we have to know in addition is he was the devotee of Mahabhairava. Mahabhairava is again Shiv, correct? So he was a devotee of that, and the next thing is he fought a war with our Samudragupta, who is from Gupta dynasty, he did not actually fight alone. He took the help of one of his relative and then he fought the war, but still he lost. Yeah. So now Rudrasena lost to Samudragupta. He wrote his greatness in this inscription. You see this inscription, correct? So this is nothing but Allahabad inscription. In this pillar, he put his inscription also. This highlighted area is Samudragupta's inscription. This is only enlarged here and shown. Let me enlarge and show this to you guys. Yep. So you're able to see, correct? So this is nothing but our Allahabad inscription. Samudragupta's Allahabad inscription. Okay. Have a close look. Just okay. This is Samudragupta's Allahabad inscription. He has written all his greatness. Next, after Rudrasena, his son has to take care, right? His name is Prithvisena. He actually ruled for a good amount of time. He was a strong king. So, how strong meaning? He fought Shakas of during that time. Shaka was ruling Malwa at that time. So Shaka is a tribal foreign tribe. I have told you, right? Remember? So Shakas are foreign tribes. He fought with Shakas. That is Gautam Putra Shatakarni only. He tried to defeat Shakas. He was able to defeat. But this person, Prithvisena, he actually fought Shakas. Let me show you the slide over here. Okay, let me close this. Yeah. So Prithvisena, he has fought Shakas and he won that also. That's why he was known for his strength. Seeing this only, our Samudragupta's son Chandragupta too, he got scared. Now he got scared. It will not look good. అతను అస్సలు బాగా అనిపించదు ఒకవేళ ఓడిపోతే. యుద్ధం చేసి ఓడిపోతే ఎంత చండాలంగా ఉంటుంది. అతని నానేమో వాళ్ళ నాన్నని ఓడించేసిండు, ఇతనేమో ఇతన్ని ఓడించకపోతే చండాలంగా ఉంటుందనేసి సరే మంచి మంచి సంబంధాలు పెట్టుకుందాం అనేసి ఏం చేస్తారు, మళ్ళీ పెళ్ళిళ్ళు చేస్తారు. ఎవరు పెళ్ళి చేసిండ్రు? He got, that is Chandragupta got his daughter Prabhavati marriage to Prithvisena's son. His name is Rudrasena 2, not Rudrasena 1. He is Rudrasena 2. అయితే ఇప్పుడు పెళ్ళైపోయింది, అంత బాగా జరుగుతుంది. ఇప్పుడు గుప్తా వాళ్ళు ఫైటింగ్ చేయాలి కదా. అయితే చంద్రగుప్త he took the help of Prithvisena and he waged a war with Shakas. Shakas were ruling Malwa that time and he occupied Shakas Malwa and also Gujarat few regions. At that time Prithvisena, he constructed this Nandivardhana town, guys. So this Nandivardhana town was constructed by Prithvisena. See, such a beautiful town. After so many years also it looks so beautiful and intact. Imagine at that time how beautiful it would have been, right? So this town was constructed by Prithvisena 1. Now the question, how will I remember so many names? Because names are again repetitive. Even if I say grandfather, in the exam time I will not remember anything. So you might get that question. So first thing is Prithvisena. How you will remember? Prithvi is earth. Earth ni srushtinchadam kada. So this srushtinchadam, he performed on a town. Nandivardhanani srushtinchadu. So like that you remember. So relating that, how you can say Prithvisena, he constructed the town Nandivardhana. So Prithvisena is clear. Now we will talk about Rudrasena 1. Rudra refers to Shiva, right? The Rudra Rupam of Shiva we say, right? So like that you remember that Rudrasena was the devotee of Lord Shiva or Mahabhairava. And apart from this we don't have much to remember. That's why he lost to Samudragupta. So it is one of the negative points. That's why we don't consider him much or we don't study about him much, right? His defeat was written in Samudragupta's Allahabad inscription. This is one more name that we can remember. The next name would be Pravarasena 1. Now how do I remember Pravarasena 1? This definitely you have to remember Pravarasena, because the name Pravarapura or the Nandi Nagaram branch was derived from his name, Pravarasena 1. What is it? Nandi Vardhana or Pravarapura branch of Rudrasena 1 was named after Pravarasena 1. Okay, so like this you have to remember how many kings I have told. Pravarasena 1, Rudrasena, and then it is Prithvisena. Okay, so now after Prithvisena, ideally it has to be the son of Prithvisena, who is Rudrasena 2. But Rudrasena 2, he died 4 years after the marriage. 4 ఏళ్ళకే చనిపోయిండు. 4 years after the marriage he died. So now this Prabhavati Gupta and Rudrasena 2, they had 2 children, guys. Their names are Divakarasena and Damodarasena. Okay, so now Divakarasena and Damodarasena, of course 4 yearsకే చనిపోయిండు అంటే వాళ్ళంతా ఒక 3-4 years అయి ఉండాలి ఆ పిల్లలు, అవునా? సో ఆ టైంలో వాళ్ళంతా చిన్న ఉండేసరికి ఇప్పుడు వాళ్ళు చూసుకోలేరు కాబట్టి ప్రభావతి గుప్తానే చూసుకోవాలి. Right now Prabhavati Gupta was ruling everything. During her time things were going so well, so pretty well, that she even expanded her kingdom until Srisailam. Imagine, so expanding the kingdom is a very big thing, guys, and that too the kingdom is ruled under a women's control is very, very great. The administration control was under Prabhavati. Imagine, I would consider those ladies and I would like give a salute to them. About her administration, it was given in this Pune copper plate inscription. Okay, what is it? It is Pune copper plate inscription. Pune copper plate inscription was something like this. I'll expand this. So this is the picture of Pune copper plate inscription. Okay, so this is the picture of Pune copper plate inscription. Just have a view that okay, so and so inscriptions are there. So the language, you see, something language is there. Are you even able to understand what this language is? No, right? So this is definitely not Sanskrit. And if it is not Sanskrit, what do we understand? Sanskrit did not prevail during that time. So what are the language it could be? It could be either Pali or Prakrit language, because these are only the oldest language, isn't it? So Sanskrit we understand little, something or the other we understand. This is definitely not Sanskrit. So it could have been either Pali or Prakrit. We don't know and we are not discussing about that. Just what we are understanding here is Sanskrit was not prevailing that time. Okay, so this is the story of Prabhavati Gupta. What? Prabhavati Gupta was the wife of Rudrasena 2 who died early. Then she had 2 sons. First was Divakarasena, then next was Damodarasena. Divakarasena, he actually died early, guys. That's so unfortunate. But yeah, she died early, and then it was Damodarasena. So imagine how hard it could have been for a lady who lost her husband and then lost her child. So yeah, it is definitely a very sad story, but she moved on. See, she almost ruled for how many years? 85 to 405, almost like 20 years, isn't it? Anyways, she has shown her greatness and braveness while she was ruling. Now after Prabhavati Gupta, it is her second son, who is Damodar Sena. Now this person, he took the title of his great grandfather, who is Pravarasena. Remember, guys, Pravarasena was who? He was the first great king who was having the title under him. What are those titles? Titles are very important. King, whosoever title is there, no, they are important and their titles are important. Just blindly remember. So the titles are Pravara Samrat and Dharma Maharaj. Okay, so the title Damodarasena which he took to himself was Pravarasena 2, and this person, he actually liked art, stories, poems, all these things he loved. So with this interest only, he has written Setu Bandham. Isn't it nice, guys? He has written Setu Bandham, one book he has only written. See, this is the poster of Setu Bandham, definitely, no doubt. but this is in Sanskrit because we are able to understand. But the original Setu Bandham is not in Sanskrit, it is in Prakrit language. Remember, we were not understanding Prabhavati's inscription, probably that must be in Prakrit. We are not making any conclusion that it is in Prakrit, don't mistake, okay? But Setu Bandham, it is in Prakrit language. This is very important. The question will be like, what are the poetic works of Damodara Sena or Pravara Sena 2? This will be the question, and you will be having multiple options like Setu Bandham, Kridabhiramam, or Katha Sarita Sagaram, or Meghadutam. So from these options you might have to select one of the options, and the right answer would be Setu Bandham. That's why this is very important, guys. This point is important. Put a mark to this. And during his time, during Pravara Sena's time, he has constructed a town with the name Pravarapura, and he made Pravarapura as capital. So first thing, what did we see? The first town was built by Prithvi Sena, that is Nandivardhana, and then he made Nandivardhana as capital and he was ruling. After Pravara Sena 2 came into picture and he was ruling, he constructed the town Pravarapura and he started ruling with Pravarapura as capital. So during his time, we also see that Kalidasa was there. Kalidasa is very famous poet, writer, what not things he has written, guys. So the famous work of Kalidasa is Meghadutam. I'll talk about it. It is a beautiful story he has narrated. I absolutely love Kalidasa for his narration. But I will talk in my next class about Meghadutam. But yes, Meghadutam is written by Kalidasa. That is one more very important question. Okay, remember, Meghadutam was written by Kalidasa, and Kalidasa existed during the period of Damodara Sena or Prithvi Sena 2. Okay, he ruled for how many years, guys? He ruled for almost 30 years. Okay, so this is the important point, that is Kalidasa was contemporary of Pravara Sena 2. Okay, this point is important. After Pravara Sena, who is it? It is basically the son of Pravara Sena 2, who is Narendra Sena. Here there is one more point, guys, I will quickly talk about. So Pravara Sena, he also built Shiva temple. Okay, he built Shiva temple. This is at Mansar. Okay, this was built by Pravara Sena 2. Okay, so this is at Mansar. This point is not so important, but yes, I actually felt like sharing with you guys, so you just have a closer view of this architecture. So isn't it beautiful construction? Like the layer by layer part, it's beautifully shown, right? So that's why I wanted to share it with you. Town constructions was very beautifully shown in Vakatakas period, guys. That's why I love about this dynasty. They actually made a new town. They progressed that town, I should say. So yeah, this is one of the points of Vakatakas. So where were we? Pravara Sena's son. The next son would be Narendra Sena. Narendra Sena, he ruled for almost like 25 years, you are able to see. So he ruled for 25 years, that is 450 to 475 AD. We are almost around 500 AD, right? So see, during his time, no, he was a great king, I should say. He defeated Kalinga, Kosala and Malwa. He defeated all these kings, but at the same time, during the end ruling time of his period, he was attacked by Nalas, and few regions came to Nala dynasty, and with this the declination started to take place. So Nala dynasty people are our Andhra people. They were ruling the Rayalaseema region. Shall I show you guys where Nala dynasty is? I talked about it yesterday. So here you see, this is the Nala dynasty. Here this is Nala dynasty. Let me expand this to you guys, this picture. So you see Nala dynasty. So this Nala dynasty, they have attacked Vakatakas. So they are close, right? So always either friction it has to be there or a good relationship. Now marriages did not happen between Vakatakas and Nalas, so definitely a war has to happen, and many small kingdoms went to Nala dynasty. This is the story of Narendra Sena. Let me get back this to the normal. So where were we? We were talking about Narendra Sena, right? We will see Narendra Sena. After Narendra Sena, it is Prithvi Sena. He came and he defeated Nala kings. Yeah, so this is the story of Vakatakas. So yeah, Prithvi Sena's ruling period, guys, it is for almost 15 years, you can say. 75 to 90 he has ruled. 75 until 75 it is Narendra Sena too, right? So after that it is Prithvi Sena too. He ruled for almost like 15 years, that is until 490 AD. Okay, until 490 AD he has ruled. So, and he defeated Nala kings. This is the entire kings of Vakatakas. Yeah. So tomorrow we are going to look into the administration part, the main features like the books, the compositions during that time, right? So all these things we are going to look to tomorrow's class. With this, I am ending my today's class. If you like my video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, like, share and subscribe amongst your friends, and do go through the videos and gain as much as information. With this, I take leave of you guys. Happy reading. Bye bye.